Hi, I'm Jasmine Morse, and this is December's Veritas News. Our lead story is Spirit Week. As you know, Spirit Week happens several times a year, and is designed to bring the school together. Monday will be everyone's favorite, Cozy Day. Tuesday will be Twin Day. Wednesday will be America Day. Thursday will be Superhero Day. And Friday will be Ugly Sweater Day. As 2017 comes to a close, we thought it would be a good time to speak with the class presidents to find out what's going on with their respective classes.
So what are some fundraisers that the junior class is doing right now to improve our cash balance?
Right now, well, for Christmas, we were thinking about doing some, Christmas themed, dining for a cause stuff. We were thinking about selling winter hats. We were either going to do that before. I don't think we could have done it before break, so we're going to start that after break. We were going to do some like Christmas themed stuff for like Spirit Week, like maybe like some candy canes or something, but those still haven't decided fully on those yet. We're in a good spot for the junior class. We still have a long way to go, but we're definitely in a good spot, I'd say.
Is there any upcoming events for the junior class?
Upcoming events for the juniors, trying to think. Not that I can think of, just kind of fundraisers, which we'll decide on in the future. But I'll definitely advertise them if things come about, definitely.
So it's the juniors' first prom. How's the planning going?
The planning's, we actually started in September. We started, getting the venue ready. We started getting like the bus information ready. Both the seniors and the junior class officers have been working really well together to try to, make sure it runs smoothly and make sure everyone has, an amazing experience like we're supposed to. But we're definitely well into the planning process, and it's going really well.
We're in a great shape. The one thing is, I've always said this even from the beginning, no matter what the number mark is, obviously you want to know where you are, right? But no matter where we are, there's always room to improve, and there's always room to keep going. So how we are, we're doing really well. But like I said, no matter what the number would be, we still want to keep moving.
Could you tell me about prom planning? Is working with the junior class going well?
We work very closely together with, the decisions that we're going to make. And to be honest, like a lot of the people, including myself, it was obviously a really skeptical thing, like, oh, we're going to be with the juniors or whatever. But last year and, the years that we've done it, it's been such a great time and a program for everybody, yeah.
As the senior class comes towards the second half of its final year, how do you think they've bonded and come together?
It's crazy to see how far we've come, but how far we're all going to go. We all, it's great. We all work together. We all have like great faith in each other, and we really do have great communication. There is definitely something special about this class for sure.
One thing all classes are interested in is winter athletics. As the winter season gets underway, hopes are high for all Bulldog teams. Over the break, games are scheduled for boys and girls basketball teams as well as the hockey team. All have holiday tournaments. Information is available on the Rockland Athletics website, as well as Mr. Harrison's weekly emails. The holiday season is supposed to be about giving, but we spoke to several Bulldogs about what they hope to be finding underneath the tree this year.
iPhone 10X.
A sweatshirt. An Xbox.
Fidget spinners.
Probably an iPhone 8. New shoes.
My new camera?
I think it would be a laptop.
A computer.
Probably like phone cases. An Xbox. I'm not ready. Cut.
Money.
Paper.
A rollie.
Money.
A car.
Probably my dog.
Gift of life.
Probably my new laptop.
I have to say probably my phone.
Probably my iPhone Green Ice 5C.
My vacation to Hawaii last year.
Phone. Guitar.
Concert tickets.
Coal.
Socks.
I got an avocado.
Last year I got a can of soup.
Probably coal.
Perfume.
Really cool.
Slice of pizza.
A metal detector one year for some reason.
Towel.
Fuzzy socks for the 5th year in a row.
Of course, none of us want to think about this, but the holiday break will come to an end. And when it does, it'll be midterm season. The exams have been reformatted this year. Mr. Harrison explains what brought about these changes.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Harrison. What are the changes made in midterms?
So for this year, we are looking at a few changes to the midterm schedule for a few different reasons. The key changes students should know about, and families as well, is that midterms will now be 90 minutes. Last year and previous years, final exams were 90 minutes and midterms were 75 minutes, yet they were both worth 10%. So we thought for making things equitable, if they're both worth 10% of your final grade, they should probably be the same length. So we wanted them to be 90 minutes. We also, as a staff, had some concerns over just the structure of the day, since teachers and students were learning new things as well as reviewing for a midterm as well as taking midterms. So we wanted to emphasize the importance of the week. So we created a schedule where students will check in at the beginning of the day to period A for attendance, and then they'll have a morning exam that's 90 minutes. It's an hour and 45-minute period, and then 50 minutes of just paperwork, housekeeping, and then in between that lunch block, that hour and a half, will be a directed study. That's time students are expected to be here. They'll have a directed study to either get ready for their next exam or to prepare for the exam the next day. And then after lunchtime, they will have their second exam, an hour and a half period. The benefit is students get to come in an hour late and they get to leave a little early. So the day actually starts for them at 9 o'clock and they get out at 2:20. And one of the things we're trying to do is increase the likelihood of students having success on midterms. We've seen as a staff that the failure rate on midterms is about 3 times the failure rate of a term grade.
Why are the changes?
Why are the changes? I think part of it is to try to give students the opportunity to have more success on midterms. For example, during that time from 8 to 9, we want students to come in early. Well, a lot of research out there says that students should get an extra hour of sleep when they have big assessments, or just have extra hour of sleep in general, because it won't hurt anybody who's taking 3 hours of testing on a given day. So letting students sleep is going to help at the beginning from 8 to 9. That extra hour should help students. But also, if the student wants to come to a school at 8 o'clock, our teachers are still going to be here, so students can come in for extra help. Teachers will be available, and also after school, we've increased the amount of time. Even students who are involved in sports and activities after school hours will have more time, since we're out at 2:20, to get help from our staff.
How will it impact the students?
Students need to make sure that they stay on top of things because it is a different schedule. So anytime there's a change in a routine, students have to get adjusted. So for example, there are some important rules to kind of, I'll emphasize to students, is that every student should have a midterm every period. So sometimes you used to take maybe an elective midterm earlier. Those midterms will all be during exam week. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you don't have an afternoon exam because you have a directed study during that period, you do not need to be here, but you do need to remain in the building for the directed study at the lunchtime, because we do want to invest in that time for you to get support. And lastly, students are not allowed to leave and get dismissed after their first exam and then decide they want to go out to lunch and come back. You have to stay throughout the whole day. It's not like final exams where you can just leave and come back. It's not an open campus format. So I just want to emphasize those things. And also, makeup exams is going to have a much stricter policy this year. Students are not allowed to make up an exam for something that's unexcused. You have to have an excused absence, and an administrator, either myself, Mr. Damon, Ms. Paulding, we have a green pass that we would sign if your absence is excused. So you provide a doctor's note, we'll fill out this green pass. You show that green pass to the teacher. The teacher would give the exam to guidance, and guidance will administer that makeup exam during a makeup exam period on the Friday of that week of exams. And part of that is what we found last year is some students were skipping the exam periods, waiting till the makeup period and taking them all in the makeup period. And we can't have students doing that.
Are there other upcoming changes?
This is an exciting time of year. Anytime in December, in January, our faculty is constantly, what they meet about in November and December is they look at the current program of studies and the offerings we have for courses for next year, and they're starting to make some changes, and we should know more about the potential changes for really right after midterms. Usually we announce them with the new program of studies. So I don't know exactly what the big changes are for the following year, but that's pretty much what we're looking at.
Can you give us some information about senior privileges?
Sure. Senior privileges, we've had some ongoing conversations about senior privileges. We did a survey to last year's senior class on what their interests were for if they were seniors and could repeat their senior year, what types of privileges would appeal to them. One of the things that they really liked was a privilege where if a student was in good standing, so they had no conduct issues, really good grades, and if they had good attendance, if they met those 3 criteria, then they could come in after period 1, or instead of a study, so they wouldn't have a study, they'd come in after period 1, or they could leave after period F, or that 6th period, or 5th period, I should say. Those were some ideas that we floated around. We haven't finalized or put anything into policy yet, but those were just some of the things we've talked about.
Overall, how is year 2 going?
Year 2 is going great. Definitely a lot easier than year 1. Year 1 was great too, but for different reasons. I'm definitely a lot more comfortable this year. I'm very happy with some of the things we've accomplished. Just in terms of recognizing, I think we've made a push to recognize student achievement, academic achievement. We put forth an AP Scholar, Advanced Placement Scholar plaque outside the auditorium area, and that's probably the first of a few plaques you're going to start to see over the next 5 years where we really celebrate academic success all over the building. And the second thing, we did a high honors luncheon last week, which I think was a fun way to really recognize kids that made high honors. We had over, I think, about 39 students who met that criteria. We took out Chipotle, so I'm trying to do different things to recognize academic achievement, as well as the Top Dog Club has been new, just really recognizing kids for making that community impact. So I think we've done some nice things. Our students have worked very hard so far this year. We've had a really good positive year, and our staff is really doing an excellent job connecting with our students. So we're in a really good place.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
As we prepare to head off for break, it's important to stay focused during the last few days. Don't let the coming vacation get you off track academically. Hang in there. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Veritas. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next year.